All right, I want to talk about a movie I watched over the weekend because it comes back to a theme that I was talking about. I think I was talking about this before Christmas, or maybe right after I came back. I was talking about Equalizer 2 and how all these conservative messages were buried in a film that you would have thought might have had a liberal agenda and that had some kind of liberal agendas. But this is something that I see is happening more and more. Over the weekend, I went and saw Spiderman Into the Spiderverse. And you might ask yourself, why did you do that when you hate superhero films? And the reason is it was the only film my wife and I could agree to go out and see, and we wanted to go out together. So we went out and saw this film. First of all, it is absolutely, it's a kid's film. It's a superhero film. If you don't like that, you don't want to see it. It is unbelievably beautiful. It is a work of art. It's computer-generated animation. I would so much rather look at an hour and a half, 2 hours of this kind of thing than go into a New York gallery and look at a splotch on the wall that brings in $1.5 million. Let's play a little bit of the trailer of this. And just if you're watching, you can see what incredible art it is.
My name is Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. I saved the city, fell in love, then I saved the city again and again and again. Look, I'm a comic book, a cereal, I did a Christmas album, and a so-so popsicle. But this isn't about me. Not anymore.
It's very much based on pop art. If you remember the pop art of the 60s, it looks like pop art. And the story is this. The story is there's a new Spider-Man. The old Spider-Man dies. And I guess if you read the comics, you know about this. His name is Miles Morales. He is a black kid from Brooklyn, I believe, from Brooklyn. And he has to learn how to be Spider-Man. And at the same time, there is a conjunction of two different dimensions. And Spider-Men from other dimensions and Spider-Girls from other dimensions come into his world and start to basically unite with him, but also train him and teach him how to be Spider-Man. So there is a dissolute kind of Peter Parker. There's a girl Spider-Man. There's a noir detective Spider-Man who's all in black and white, which is very funny. There's a kind of Porky Pig Spider-Man. There's a manga Spider-Man, a little girl and a robot, you know, from the Japanese cartoons and all this stuff. And all of them start to teach him that he too can be Spider-Man. And his father, who is a very stern, very straight-laced cop, is trying to teach him how to be a man in the world. His mother and his father have both, he wants to be in the hood. The kid wants to be in the hood, but they have sent him to a private school, an elite private school, because they see something special in him and they think he should be part of the elite and he should be a special guy. They don't quite understand his graffiti art, but they do understand that putting graffiti art on public spaces is illegal. So they're a little too strict on him about the art. But the entire thrust of the movie is this. Black people are now joining the mainstream. They are becoming heroes as white people were heroes, as women have been heroes. They are joining the heroic stories that Americans tell, which are Spider-Man and Superman and Batman. These are the heroic mythos that America has developed. It is welcoming black people in, but it's also saying, yes, you bring your special art and your special creativity and your special viewpoint from your neighborhood and from your experience. You bring that into the mainstream. But you also have to learn what the mainstream has to teach you. You have to learn to restrain yourself and not put the graffiti in public spaces, but to find a place where you can express that. You have to join the other kids of different races and white kids who are at the elite schools. You have to listen to the old Spider-Man, who's a white guy, and find out what he knows and join. It's basically the answer to Get Out. Get Out basically says if you join with this white culture, they're going to steal your soul. And that's what makes it a horror movie. But this is a superhero movie, and it basically says, no, join. You will bring something to it, but you also have to accept something from it. That is a very conservative message. That's the message that conservatives have been saying to black people for these last 60 years. It is why we are called racist. They call us racist when we say, hey, join, yes, please, join the crowd. We have always been, the Republicans have always been the party of no racism. We've always been the party of freedom from Lincoln on, always. It's only the Democrats who have been the racists, as they are racist still. But we have always said, come on in. But there are great things in this society that you have to adopt. There is a price of admission, as there was for the Jews, as there was for the Irish, as there was for the Italians. There is a price of admission that you pay to become part of the mainstream. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in a very compassionate and very enjoyable way with, like I said, a lot of great visual art, sends that message. We should be looking for that. And in the same way we should be supporting right-wing artists, we should be supporting messages that we can agree with, even if they come in left-wing films. That's all I have to say, and I will be back tomorrow. I'm Andrew Klavan. This is The Andrew Klavan Show.